Hello, Aisha. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome, chat. I have Aisha Husted here. Her brother is from my hometown, which is 20 miles south from me. And he went missing, wasn't January 22nd of
Yeah,
2018?
the 21st, I believe.
21st, 2018. He was 19 years old and you know, just like Harry Milligan, we don't have a lot of facts of anything. And I want to give Aisha a voice. I want you to listen to about Ty. His name was Sebastian, but he always went by Ty. So I'm going to let Aisha talk and tell you guys about him.
Okay.
Welcome, Aisha.
Thanks. Thanks for doing this. So Ty was born May 18th, 1999. The first memory I have is actually before he was even born. My mom sat me and my twin down, and she was kind of hinting around. We were 7 at the time, so she's like, "There's going to be a new member." So in our 7-year-old brains, we were like, "Oh, we're getting a dog," and we were so excited. And she had to be like, "No, you're getting a baby brother." And we were a little disappointed because we wanted a dog, but I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better baby brother than Ty. So he was actually born. I think it was either the day before or the day after, like our mall burnt down. So it was kind of like a busy time around then. So that's always
That was
a fun
crazy.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah, that we'll never forget the mall burning down.
Right.
Yeah. So you have another brother that's your twin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And his name's Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, let's start off by Ty was gonna be a daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell them about Kendrick?
Okay. He's actually here. You'll probably hear him. He's
Oh,
loud and rambunctious.
that's okay.
So Kendrick is Ty, like just plain Ty. He's loud, he's rambunctious. He is not afraid to tell you what he's thinking. He loves Spider-Man. He was born in May, so the May after Ty went missing. And yeah, he's just Ty. He's also so we're all Tauruses. So me and my twin are Tauruses. Ty's a Taurus, and our Kendrick's a Taurus. So like we're just a Taurus family. And yeah, he's just Ty in mini version.
I wanna put a slideshow up of him. He looks just like his daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. And how old is he now?
He just started kindergarten, so
yeah,
5.
Look at that face. I got to meet him. He was at Harry's like the 4th of July or the July thing that we had for Harry, and I got to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Yeah, he's definitely got me wrapped around his finger. Like the last 5 photos you showed was at the Iowa State Fair, and he wasn't even supposed to go with us because he's a little rambunctious. But the day before when we were packing, he was like, "I'm going to," and like threw a bunch of random clothes in a bag, and I was like, "How can I say no to that?" So he got to go with
us. And you've got 3 kids of your own.
Mm-hmm.
And how old are they?
12, 10, and 8.
Yeah, I bet Kendrick's got them wrapped around their fingers too.
For sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
They fight like brother and sister, but they love each other like brothers and sisters. So.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the day that Ty went missing, because he had started a new job, and I want you to talk about that.
Okay.
That day.
So for me, it actually starts the day before he went missing. So is it okay if we go there?
Yep. Because that goes along with it.
Yeah. So he messaged me, and he was explaining he had just started a new job, and he didn't have any money, but he needed food for like his lunches and breakfasts. So I took him to the grocery store, and this was probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I took him to the grocery store, and we got him lunches and breakfast and dinners, and he was actually staying like in a motel, but it was like where you can stay for you pay and stay as long as you want, pretty much. And so he could only get like microwavable stuff. So he got Lunchables and just cheap stuff that he can cook in a microwave, because that's all he had. And I took him there. He like raided my my change thing in my van, and I took him home. And he had a bunch of dirty laundry, so he gave me the dirty laundry, and he asked if I'd wash it, and I said yeah. So I took his laundry home and washed it, and then I messaged him when it was done. I told him your laundry's done, and he didn't answer back. So I just said, hey, I'm going to set it on the back porch, and you can pick it up on your way to work. And then that morning, I got up to take my kids to school, and the laundry was gone, so I assumed he came and picked it up, and he did. And then that was just the last time I personally heard from him. And then I didn't find out for a couple days that he was actually missing. So that's sort of where we stopped communicating. But the day he actually went missing, he tried to call. He went to work with this coworker he had met actually through work. And they were carpooling, and those two were only carpooling because they were staying at the same extended stay motel. And that's how they met. So they rode to work together. And I'm not sure if that was their first day working together, or if it was if they had worked together previously. That's unknown to me. But they rode to work together, and Ty at some point started to feel uncomfortable by this man. So he called my twin brother and said, can you come pick me up? He's acting crazy, speaking about the coworker. And my twin said, yeah, send me your location. So location was sent. And for some reason or another, Malcolm never went down there to get him. And Ty was calling Malcolm repeatedly. He even messaged him like, please, man.
Let me see. Is this what? Nope, that's the other one. Okay, this one. This is between Malcolm and Sebastian. Ty, yes.
Yep.
And it's just location sharing, missed call. He kept trying to call and kept trying to call.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then later on in the night, and this is all secondhand information to me, my brother realized that Ty wasn't answering. So he sent his girlfriend and another person down to the hog barn, which is what they did. They power washed hog barns, and to go see if he was still there. And by the time they got there, there was nobody. It was left. There was just nobody around. So they came back, and again, they didn't say anything to me until a couple days later. I can't remember if it was the next day or the day after, but they messaged me and they were like, have you heard from Ty? And I said, not since the day before. And they said, well, nobody's heard from him. And I didn't know the whole situation at that time. But I was just like, okay. I lived closer, so I said, I'll go to the room he's staying at and I'll see if he's there. So I went there, I knocked on the door, and there was actually somebody sitting outside, and they were like, he's at work. And I said, do you actually know that he's at work, or are you just assuming? And he was like, well, I haven't seen him in a couple days, but he's usually at work at this time. So that gave me hope. I was like, okay. So I waited a couple hours, and I went back, no answer, and I did that all day. And it still really hadn't set in, so I still didn't report him missing yet. And
he's 19. I mean, right. Yeah.
So I hadn't reported him missing the day I found out, and then we were still like going around family, calling family, seeing if anybody had heard from him. And my brother and his girlfriend at the time, they were all kind of like friends with Ty's friends. I don't really have any friends, so I wasn't like in that group. So they were all asking around. And so then the next day, I still was going to his house. I went to his house first thing in the morning, and then again at noon, and then again at like 4 when he was supposed to be coming home from work, and no answers. So that's when my brother's girlfriend was like, we have to report him missing. And she had known more information than I still had known at that time. So I called some people, like my family, and was like, I'm going to go report him missing. Nobody's heard from him. And some of the family like thought it was ridiculous. They were like, I can't believe you're doing this. He's going to show up. He's going to think you guys are stupid. Like, don't do it. Just wait. But something was just telling me, just go do it. So we reported him missing and at Centerville, which they took it, but they really couldn't do anything because the last time he was seen, he was in Lineville. Yeah, and that was a huge mess in itself because we'd called Lineville to see if we should report him missing there, and they were like, we don't even know that he was here, so no. And then Lineville is exactly what it is. It's a town that's separated between Iowa and Missouri. So if the barn is on Iowa side, then it would go to one jurisdiction, and if the barn is on another side, it would go to a Missouri jurisdiction. So Iowa and Missouri were like, we don't want it, and they were like trying to figure out who was supposed to have it.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah, so they were like arguing about whose case it was, and I'm like, we've already lost so much time not knowing he was actually missing, and now you guys are arguing back and forth about who has this jurisdiction. So it was determined that Missouri had jurisdiction. And keep in mind, they didn't even want to take the missing report when we first called. So then people were calling, and they were like I think they were getting annoyed with our family because other people were calling. So on my mom's side, there's me and Malcolm and Ty, but then he has a different dad than us. So then he has 2 other siblings. So all the siblings were calling the Mercer trying to figure out what we should do. And they were like, we've had so many calls. He has so many brothers. How do we even know you're related? And I want to be like, does it even matter? Like, we have somebody missing. And so that, yeah, it's just been Mercer's a mess.
That day, now, was there hogs or was there no hogs?
There's no
hogs. They were
hogs.
just cleaning it, right?
They were power washing it, so there was no hogs there.
So when they don't they have to wear like special clothing? I know when we raise pigs. Yep. Yeah. So where was his clothes found?
So his clothes were found like a week later because his the person he rode to work with, his coworker, also disappeared. And
the day after, right? Aisha, the day after?
It was either the day after or like that night. So nobody could find him either. Like even his live-in girlfriend was like posting on his Facebook, like, where are you? I wish you would communicate with me. So he also disappeared. And rumor has it is he randomly showed up in some random northern Iowa town out of his mind. He couldn't remember how he got there or anything. Well, anyway, the work truck was found at his family properties, and I think Cordon, or that's a rumor. This isn't fact. I don't know for sure. And it was taken to the boss or like the person that Ty and him answered to. Mm-hmm. And by the time we tracked it down, the clothes were like covered in like a gasoline. They were wet. They were no longer clean. But they were found in the back of either in the back of the truck or in a like a trailer that they had that had all the power washing equipment in it.
So was there other people at that plant? I know that somebody had asked that sorry guys, I'm not good with looking at chat, but was it just to be Malcolm and this coworker?
Just Ty and the coworker.
I mean, Ty. Yeah.
So those were the only 2 that were supposed to be there. And as far as we know, it was the only 2 there.
How frustrating. Yeah. I'm going to go through. I just want to see if anybody else has any questions. Iowa girl is the work location. Yeah. I think we already covered that. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Mark Milligan, who is the agency in Missouri?
So the agency is Mercer County.
Mercer.
And from what I'm not I'm not sure if the sheriff is still the same sheriff, but I've heard bad things about the sheriff that was in office when Ty went missing. That just it would have never gotten solved under him.
Well, another question. Was the FBI contacted?
That's a funny story. So I called the FBI myself because I had no idea how the FBI works, and they pretty much laughed in my face. And they were like, "This isn't
They
how the
laughed
FBI."
in your face?
Pretty much, yeah. They were like, "This isn't how it works," and you've also called the wrong FBI office because I called the one closest to us because I was like, that makes the most sense. But they're like, "No, it's actually one further away, and this isn't how the FBI works. The police station involved has to contact the FBI, but of course Mercer County isn't going to do that."
I feel like I'm starting to shake inside right now.
It was irritating. And I already had anxiety calling them, so like to have that guy like laugh at me, I was like, okay, never again.
I am so sorry. I just could not even imagine.
I just laugh at it now. You got to keep a sense of humor, otherwise you'll go crazy.
Zild 1, does anyone have the city or town's name? Because I would like to call that place and address my concerns with the higher ups. Well, Mercer, that's Lineville, right?
So Mercer is the actual
Sheriff
thing is in Lancaster, but they oversee Mercer County.
So Lane County. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mark, so many questions. Kind of another case we know that's close to home. A lot of questions, you know. And let me make sure if there's any more questions here with the chat.
So yeah, when some person asked, has a coworker been looked at? And once he was found out of his mind, the police called him and asked him for him to come back, and he set up a date to come talk to the police. He didn't show up for 2 more days after that. And his story, from what I understand, changed like 3 times. It first changed to Ty got mad and started walking, like just walked off. And then it went to they got stuck in the mud, so Ty got out to help push the car and he disappeared. And then it changed a 3rd time to they got a flat tire, so Ty got out to change it, and that's when he disappeared. So he couldn't keep the coworker on anything, so he got let out. Him and his girlfriend packed up and went to Minnesota for a while. They broke up, and now he lives with his grandma in Des Moines.
And you don't know if there's been any more contact or anything with him? And
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
My little brother didn't run away. He had no reason to run away. He was trying to better himself.
Yeah, he was, and he had a baby on the way, and he was very excited.
He was really
about
excited
that.
for it. Yeah, he had no reason to run away. He had a job. He was.
Yeah.
We had planned for the week. We got him food. He wouldn't have left, and if he did leave, he would have told somebody. He's a family guy. Like, he went to my grandma's every day to make sure she was okay. She's got COPD. Oh. So he had no reason to run away.
Yeah.
And it's sort of frustrating because I see why people think that, because I don't know if you remember this, but a couple years before Ty even went missing, we did have a guy that was missing and ran away and didn't tell anybody. And I think that really hindered Ty's case because that's what people expect now, especially around our community. But like I said, he had no reason to run away. He had no money to run away. Everything, even his uneaten lunch was found. He didn't have his clothes. Him and his phone are the only thing missing. So
yeah,
he didn't run away.
Yeah, no, he did not run away. No. And around that time, Molly Tibbetts went, she was missing at the time, which they found her. Mm-hmm. But to me, this is where, and everybody knows how I feel about this. It's so frustrating to me how one case can get nationwide media and another case nobody looks at. That is what is frustrating to me. And that's what this channel, I want to cover the cases that nobody else is talking about.
Yeah.
And You
I
know,
always kind of cringe when Molly Tibbetts gets brought up because I got in a lot of trouble, pretty much calling out exactly that she got so much more attention than my brother. And it's not that I didn't want her to get the attention; I just wanted them to get the same amount of attention. And I think that's why now I advocate so hard for men, is because they don't get the attention that younger middle class women do when they go missing. So I was kind of cringe when she does, because it got me in a little trouble and people were super mad when I brought up the.
I don't know how anybody could be mad. I would.
Well, but they were. They were.
And another thing, Aisha, I'm trying to get her to start a YouTube channel. We need more advocate for missing people, and I think she would do amazing. Your voice, and I really do. I really hope you consider doing that. Because there's a lot of missing people out there that nobody talks about.
Mm-hmm. So Iowa Girl asked about the Center for Law Enforcement. They've been a lot easier to work with than Mercer, but again, it's not their case. They can only do so much. They can take tips, but then they have to pass it along, and it's up to Mercer to follow up on those. They were a lot more helpful than Mercer. I can give them that. And I was a little sad when they found out that Mercer was the one getting it, because I was in contact with somebody. So if the barn was on the Iowa side, then it would have gone to the Corden Police Department. And I was actually in contact with somebody that was like, I know your brother. He's a cop. He was a cop at the time. He's like, I know your brother. I want to get this solved. I'm hoping it was our case. And he said, even if it's not our case, I'll try to help any way I can. Well, then it was found out it wasn't his case, and his superior told him to stand down. So it was a little frustrating. But Centerville has been a little more helpful than Mercer, but they can't do much.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really sad because we don't have, like, we live in a small community. We don't have like FBI, or not FBI, private investigators, people. We don't have those kind of people around. And
right.
You actually met Mark through Mark putting up, and I wanted to get a picture of Ty's on the opposite side of Harry's picture, his sign out on the road. And that's how you met Mark, right?
I think we became Facebook friends before that. But I never connected the two until after the sign.
Yeah. The Milligans are amazing. And I know that we all want Ty found, and Harry, and it's going to happen one day. I mean, the truth always comes out, always.
I don't know why Joseph Johnson is so set on Ty running away. I promise you he didn't run away. I get that people can run away without money. He wouldn't have. He forgot his phone charger. He wouldn't have run away. If he wanted to disappear, you would have left the phone too, right? Because that's got a tracker on it. I can promise you he wouldn't have left. And if he did, he would have told at least one person, and our whole family has no idea where he's at, and we are devastated by that. And it's for people like you who are the reason why he's not getting coverage. So can you please stop with that rumor? He didn't run away.
If he says it again, I don't know who this person is. Just one of my mods, can you guys just, I don't want him upsetting her. So please try to be respectful. Just think if it was your brother. So, and no, he did not run away. Yeah. I want to show some pictures, a little slide of now Ty, because he loved to hunt. He was a big outdoorsman. He loved to hunt and all that stuff. I just want everybody to see some pictures of him. That's when he was junior high, probably. And that's his nephew and him. Oh. That's a good picture of you three.
For sure.
Ty was nice looking young man. Those brown eyes. Oh. I just sit and I look at it, Aisha, you are doing all that you can do. And I truly believe somebody is going to speak up someday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we can hope for. We live in a small community, and it's going to take one person to say something. I also I was going to put, this is the missing, and anyways, you can either contact Centerville. Can they contact Centerville?
They can. Yep. They can give them a tip. Yep.
Okay. So I wonder where Mercer's is. Well, it's just Mercer County Sheriff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in Lancaster, and yeah, that's just what they call it, Mercer County, because that's.
And he had 2 revolvers, tattoos on his chest, and Sebastian down his right arm and Outlaw down the left arm. So, yeah. I mean, he was still young. He had his whole life ahead of him. His whole life. Let's see. Do you see any other questions?
Somebody asked about an ID, if he disappeared with an ID. So he had lost his ID, and about a week or 2 before that, I had taken him to go get, he lost his ID and his social security card. So I had taken him to go renew all those things, so they hadn't showed up. So he had nothing. So no, he didn't run away with an ID or anything.
Can Carrie share his Facebook? You have a Facebook group. Can Carrie
so we don't have a group, we have a page, and it's just
or a page.
I believe it's just like finding Sebastian Ty Husted.
Can she put that in the link?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Copa. And you're exactly right. Speak truth with love. When the family says their loved one wouldn't run away, they're always good. They're going to be correct. I mean, you knew Ty more than anybody.
For sure.
And anybody that I'm going to post Aisha's PayPal, because you guys don't have like a reward yet. You got to start one, because there was a reward at the bank, but no money was going in. So it was costing you guys money to have it at the bank. And she's going to get me some pictures, and I will put some up on my community page, but they've got t-shirts. So I'm going to order me 1 or 2. And then she's got her PayPal, right? It's a PayPal, right? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
And it's just the QR code. And
I think that one's actually the Cash App one.
Oh, it's Cash App?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have PayPal?
I can send it to you.
Yeah. So Cash App, and then
or I can just post it on the page that's linked.
Yeah. And then I'll post it on my community post if anybody wants to help, because they want to get more t-shirts made and would love to get like some more signs out like Harry. So if anybody wants to donate whatever to her, I know that she would love that. And of course his son, Uh,
So the money would go for a reward,
yeah,
but if a reward is never needed or claimed, then we fully plan on it giving it to Kendrick when he's old enough.
yes, yes. But I do want you to send me the t-shirt styles,
Mhm.
so I'll put them up because I know people will want to order one. Yeah, Mark wants one, and so yeah. Mark wants to know, did anyone subpoena his phone information?
I believe so. I know for sure that it got, because Mercer was trying to at first claim that there was no evidence that Ty was even down at the hog barn, despite the fact that he was sharing the location with our brother. And I don't know if you guys saw, but there's a picture of him actually at the hog barn, and he said he was like, my brother asked like, "What's up?" and he said, "Pig" or something. And so, despite all of that, they didn't even believe that he was even in Mercer at all that day. So, they pinged his phone to a tower close to that, and so I'm assuming they got something from his phone. But that's all I know. Is that
Yeah, they said,
his phone was pinged there.
yeah, he said, sup, you know how the kids sup, and he says pig shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
And
did he punch in? So there was the the place he worked for was kind of sketchy because, as I said, he didn't even have an ID or a a social security card to prove that he was supposed to work there. So I'm not sure if it's a legit business. So there's no punching in. It's basically based on whether the barn was clean or not. So if the barn was clean, they knew you did your job. So he didn't. There was no punching in. It was
so
just he
they
put on
didn't
there.
like even have their phone and punch in from their phone.
Not as far as I know.
Oh wow.
Are they trying to push it?
Mm.
So yeah, they were trying to say that they were trying to pretty much say like we don't want this case, and that they didn't have any desire. And like Lineville, I kind of have like a one-sided beef with them because after Ty went missing, I'm not sure if we're ready to move on to the after, but after he went missing, I was in like we gotta find Ty mode. So I went down there with homemade printed off missing flyers, and they have like one big gas station, and I hung up a one on like their little bulletin board, and the next day I went down there and it was taken down, and I was like, is there a reason why it was taken down? And the cashier was like, yeah, our boss told us to take it down because it's all over Facebook anyway, so it doesn't need to be hanging up. And I was like, okay, well, can I put up another? And she was like, you can, but honestly, she'll probably just take it down again. So I didn't even waste that putting up another missing flyer, because at that time we were buying them ourselves. We were buying copies, and we made them ourselves. So I didn't want to waste one if it was just going to be taken down and thrown away. So I'm not 100% sure if it was their boss at the gas station that said take it down, or if maybe the sheriff went there and was like, take that down.
There is Ty's sign.
Yeah, and that's his brother from his dad side to me.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. He used to come in the store all the time. I think he used to work in Albee. I don't know if he does anymore. Yeah. So, I know how Mark would love to have these Harry's sign in every town. I would love to see Ty's sign in every town, at least southern Iowa, northern Missouri. Do you have, do you have people that talk about Ty? That's what it blew me away, that nobody talked about Harry. I had been
Mm-hmm.
here how many years and nobody talked about him. And, you know, it seems like when I want to talk about Ty or Harry, I'm the one bringing it
Bringing it
up.
up. Yeah.
And
So I think when he first went missing, um, nobody really. It was sort of like he was sort of like a dirty word. Nobody wanted to bring him up, and I'm not sure if it was just because they didn't want to upset me, or if it was just because of all the rumors going around. So at first, nobody really wanted to talk about it, and then I would always be the one that brought it up, and like, believe me, I bring it up any chance I can get. Um, and then like, we never really got coverage. There was like a few things where like people like showed us picture or whatever, and like a lot of our coverage was like me sharing posts on Facebook, and so we didn't get a lot of coverage right away. But then the whole Molly Tibbetts thing happened, and I called out the media, and then we started to get coverage. And so it kind of helped in our favor, even though a lot of people were irritated and mad. So I started doing like a little bit of news interviews, and another YouTuber, I cannot remember his name, he also reached out, and I did a YouTube interview with him.
Oh,
And
so somebody else has covered. I'll have to look into that.
It was a long time. Like it was 4 years, like when Tyler first went missing, so like 4 or 5 years ago. So so that happened, and then people would start bringing him up, and but it wasn't like anything. Almost like it wasn't helping the case. It was just like talking about him, like when they would hang out and like what they meant to him, and it's kind of sad that like, because Ty was always like a person who would like him, like be like, I have no friends, like I have nobody, and it's really sad to see that like how many people actually cared about him, but like he doesn't know that because he's missing.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that care, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we need to get more people talking about him, talking about even, you know, Harry. I mean, anybody, you've got a channel and you do true crime. I know Aisha would love to come on your panel. Same with the Milligans, you know, just to tell their story, because I've got such a small channel and I am growing slowly, but I don't go live a lot, you know, I just don't. But I would love to start, you know. I know Mark and me are going to do Harry, and because it's going to take that one person that comes on and says they're a new subscriber. You never know. So I really want to do Ty again, you know, in the near future. And I really want you to start a channel. We need more advocates for the missing. We do. I got a picture sent to me. I do want to put this up. This is Mark and Lori Milligan. They are the ones that wanted to do this for your family. I think they're the ones that asked if they could. Hold on here. Let me get this. The Milligans, I love them. They are my family. And I know how much they adore your family. But that's Mark and Lori, and they must have just got the sign done and they were getting ready to put it up. I mean, we need more people like Mark and Lori, but you know, Mark knows exactly what you and your family's going through.
Yeah, I've only met Mark once. I'm not 100% sure if I met his wife at the benefit, but yeah, he and I don't know if he felt it, but like we definitely had that connection. Like,
oh yes,
we know, because like he hugged me and I was like, I felt like I've known him my whole life, and I'd only known him for like a year or two. But yeah, he's one that understands.
Yep, because see, none of us know. We do. I could sit here and say
definitely a bonded thing.
Yeah, I mean, I always say I could not imagine if it was my brother or my sister. Honestly, they would probably lock me up because it would not be good.
I think I got pretty close, honestly. So when he I'm laughing, but it's the truth. So when he first went missing, I like I said, I was in go mode. Like, we have to find Ty. And keep in mind, I have 3 kids of my own. So, and one of them wasn't in school yet. So I would get up, take my girls to school. Me and Finney, my son, I had a van at the time, load him up in his car seat. We would go to Lineville. I'd pass out flyers and he'd talk to anybody. And of course, nobody's seen him because he was just pretty much driving through the town to go to the barn. So, and it was only that one day. So I didn't think anybody would see him, but just in case he stopped at the gas station, because we knew that at this point the gas station wasn't going to help. Anybody had saw him to prove, because this was when I was still trying to prove that he had even gone to Lineville to begin with. So we were handing out flyers, and then I would have to come back home, pick up the kids from school, do the mom thing, put the kids to bed. And then at that time, it was 8 p.m. and my mom would come home from work, and she was already going through it. And as you can imagine, like, it's her baby. So like she didn't have the strength. So put the kids to bed. My mom would take over, and I was out all night driving around, talking to anybody. And I think it's important to remember that, again, Ty was young, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. There could have been drugs involved. He was trying to get his life together. He could have owed somebody money. He was trying to put that past him. I just want to make that 100% clear that he was trying to get his life straight. So a lot of shady people hang out at night. So that's why I went to bars at night. I went to wherever. Like, I was talking about him everywhere to anybody I was trying to figure out. And the hotel he was staying at actually has a bar across the street. So that's where I would go and be like, hey, has anybody ran into Ty? He lives in this area, and a lot of people had already known because we were posting it in Facebook, and Centerville Police Department had put up a post by then. So I was going, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, and I ended up in the hospital because I was having a nervous breakdown. And of course, I wasn't going to admit that I was having a nervous breakdown. I was just like, I have a really bad headache, and at the time I didn't know why, but I was like crying uncontrollably. I couldn't control my emotions. I was shutting down. I hadn't slept. I hadn't really eaten. I was just in go mode. So I ended up in the hospital with a really bad headache, and they were like, girl, you got to get your blood pressure under control. And so my mom was like, you're absolutely not going out tonight to look for him. You need to sleep. So I slept and then started over. So yeah, when you said you're going to get locked up, I got pretty close.
I did not know that. And
yeah, it's like, this is my first time. Like, you got the exclusive.
Well, I'm glad that you're opening up and talking about it, because for myself, I mean, you was what, 25 at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Blood pressure in the hospital. I mean, I hadn't shared that story with anybody. It was just something I kept to myself. So you got the exclusive. Well, guess what? Sometimes it helps to talk about things, and it gets all of us to understand.
Yeah, and there was a time where people, like, when I was sharing his post, and people were like, oh, all you're doing is sitting at home sharing a post. Like, what's the family doing? And I'm like, you don't realize I was just in the hospital last night having a mental breakdown from finding him. And you're on Facebook being a Facebook warrior telling me that we're not doing enough.
There's some mean people in this world. Mean, hateful, judgmental asses. And their karma's coming one day.
Yeah.
It's sad because they'll never know. Hopefully they'll never know how you felt and how your family felt.
Yeah, and I hope they never do, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because it's really sad. Like, and a lot of people like also call me out, and they're like, you can't think he's still alive. And that's another thing. It's like, I know the statistics. I was a crime junkie before he even went missing. I know the statistics. I know the chances of him coming home alive is slim to none, and him coming back the same person alive is non-existent. Whatever he's going through right now, if he's alive, is far worse than I can even imagine, probably. So I know we're never going to get Ty back, but we still deserve to know, because being in limbo is the worst. I'd rather know that he's gone so we can grieve, or that he's just, if he did run away, that he's happy. So then we can, so we're not in limbo anymore. Yeah. So limbo is the worst part.
See, that's where I lost my sister. She was 13 months younger than me from a rare form of leukemia, but I could grieve her. I know where she is. something like this, you don't know. I mean, was he sex trafficked?
Right.
Was it somebody he owed money? Are they torturing? I mean, this would put anybody in. I mean, there's no way you can't even begin to, because your life is not ever going to be the same.
Yeah.
I mean, your life changed, your mother's life, your kids' life, Malcolm's, his other brothers. I mean, people that say stuff like that to you, you just got to pray for those kind of people, because it's bad. Now, I do want to ask you something. I was going to ask you last night, and I heard you say a little that you don't know when Ty's first day truly was. Was it his first day, or you don't know?
I'm not sure.
You wonder if there was a setup, like maybe they told him, hey, let's go clean this hog barn.
So I know for sure that job was a legit job.
It was
so
a legit
they
job.
went there for that reason. As far as the setup, I mean, I've heard rumors that it wasn't even supposed to be Ty, that it was supposed to be our other brother. But because
I've heard that one before.
Ty was there and Malcolm wouldn't come, that Ty got whatever was supposed to happen to him. So as far as the setup, I do know that seeing pictures, I never met his coworker, but seeing pictures of his coworker, if he did something to Ty, there's no way that he could have finished it or done it by himself.
Yeah, Ty was a big boy, 5'11", 200 pounds. I'm going to grab my dog. She's wanting.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Come on. You want to come in here? Yeah.
So the coworker isn't just known to be involved with drugs. He was also he has a pretty lengthy rap sheet that includes like intimidating people with guns, domestic violence. So he's just a bad guy. And that's why I'm not 100% sure if the place they were working for was even legit, because again, Ty had no proof of who he was, and this guy got hired. And from my understanding, so Ty was actually carpooling with this guy, one, because they lived close together, and two, Ty didn't have his license, but neither did his coworker. So one of them was driving without a license to Mercer County.
Did they drain the pits, the hog, did they drain them?
This is another story. So they did. So we were told they were going to drain the pits this one day. So my stepdad was actually going to go down to make sure they did it, but they were like, we don't want the family there, and I get it, for if they did find something, they don't want family there. So they said not to come. Well, they had us believing this whole day that it was happening, and it turns out it didn't happen, because when it was going to happen, they realized they have to have permits to do that. So then when they finally got the permits, it was that he could disappear in January in Iowa. So the ground was frozen. They couldn't do it. So they had to wait for everything to thaw. And so after they thawed, they finally drained the pits, and there was nothing.
Wow. FARQ says they've already reached out. Carrie lives in Missouri. She knows a creator who mainly does Missouri. Oh, so the Eclipse Truth, they reached out to this creator. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. That would be great, Aisha, for you to get bigger channels to listen to your story. I do want to say, before I forget, I did put a community post out for, her name is, there's a lady from, I think, Nebraska. She's going to actually be doing Harry's story, but not until the spring. I told you about her last night. She's got little kids at home, but her name is True Crime Treadmill. And so I would like for you guys to go check her out. I really like her too. Can you put the FARQ or Carrie, put the name of that channel creator? I didn't, Allison. FARQ did. Okay. Can you guys put that link in the comments for me? The one that FARQ reached out to, I'd appreciate it.
Mark wants to know if Malcolm's older. He's older than Ty, but he's 13 minutes younger than me.
You're the oldest by 13 minutes.
And I don't let them forget it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. Let's see. I was going to. And Kendrick, yeah, you guys like his mom, Ty's girlfriend at the time. You guys, she's really good. You guys get to see Kendrick all the time, and your mom, and I love that. I love that you guys have a good relationship with her, and she allows you to have a good relationship with him, because I want to put his pictures up.
I could probably call him in here. He loves attention, so
you know what? Get him in here. Get him in here.
Hold on a second.
Okay. She is the nicest lady, you guys. She really is, as you can tell. Yes, Iowa girl, true crime tread. She is from Iowa. I don't know why I was thinking she was from Nebraska. Anyway, she's going to be doing Harry. The Eclipse Truth. Aisha and Malcolm. Hi, are twins. And Ty was the young. Hello, how are you doing, Kendrick?
Good.
Look at that dimple. I love dimples. How's school going?
What?
How's school?
You got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
You
Kendrick?
His name is Mary Jane Watson.
He's Spider-Man, so his girlfriend's Mary Jane.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So you like Spider-Man, huh?
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
You want to see my suit? Here, I'll go right back.
Okay.
Was he Spider-Man for Halloween?
Yeah, he's but he has 1,000 suits, so he's actually gonna go put one on, I guess, and come back.
Oh my gosh, I miss my kids and grandkids being that young. I can't believe my oldest grandson's gonna be 13 in January.
Oh, are you gonna put it on, or you're just gonna show him?
I'm just gonna put it on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't do that on camera. Go out there.
Okay. Will you zip it for me?
I will zip it for you.
Aw. I want to see if there's any other
cadaver
questions.
dogs were never used because we were supposed to have a search, but the people who owned the land said we could search, but then it fell through because they all of a sudden changed their mind after Mercer County Police found out there was going to be a search, and they said they didn't want us trampling through it because it's also used as a hunting ground, so they didn't want our scent to throw off the deer, which, if you know anything about hunting, is absolutely ridiculous. It's not going to throw off deer, but that was the excuse we got.
They wouldn't let you do the search because of that?
Yep.
So has there ever been a search?
Just what the police say they've done. And we were actually told by Mercer County Sheriff that if we tried to do one by ourselves, we would be arrested for trespassing.
Mark, is that true? Now you've got me wondering. We may be getting a search going. I don't think they can stop you. I don't know. Missouri may be different than Iowa, but
we're not triplets. Me and Malcolm are twins. Ty's 7 years younger.
So Kit True Crime, Carrie dropped the link that they reached out to this person to cover hair or cover Ty. They do mostly Missouri. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mark still in here? I just don't know how they can stop you guys from searching. That doesn't make any sense to me. Carrie, do you know anything about Missouri laws with that? Aisha.
Yes.
We ought to go down there sometime, seriously. And I'd like to go down that hog farm anyway, the barn. And yep, the Eclipse Truth. They were afraid that it would mess up hunting.
Yeah, that was the excuse we got. And the thing is like it was kind of embarrassing because they called it off the night before the search. So I think the Mercer County Sheriff had something to do with it. But we had everything lined up. There were going to be cadaver dogs. There was going to be people on horses. There were going to be people on ATVs. There were people like supplying food. Like it was going to be a legit search. And then the night before, they didn't even tell us. I had to find out through a Facebook post that it was called off. And like we had paid for an ad in the paper to tell people, and it was just so frustrating. And then to get that it was because they didn't want our scent to throw off the deer and hunting, because it's also the property that the hog barn is also used as a hunting ground.
Carrie's going to look up Missouri law. Mark, I don't even know what time it is. He's still awake, but I know he has to be up early for work, but I'd like to know his thoughts on that. But Carrie's going to look it up. If not, we need to, I know it's been 5 years. I still think that there needs to be a search. I don't get how they cannot, you guys say you can't do that. Yeah, I'd definitely be in jail. I would. Anyways, I'm going to send you that link I want you to go subscribe to this one that does Missouri. It's Kit True Crime. And I hope and pray that she does cover him. I'm sure she will.
As far as a cover-up, I'm not 100% sure if it was necessarily a cover-up on the sheriff's part, but I think they just didn't want the case. It was an inconvenience. Ty wasn't from there. He was an outsider. He had no reason to help, I guess. Like, it didn't benefit him to find somebody missing who's from Iowa. I just negligence is what I would say instead of a cover-up. Yeah.
Mark said in Iowa, they cannot do that. If the landowner says you can. Yeah.
All the way up.
There you go, buddy. Okay.
Gypsy.
Look.
Oh, look at that.
It's an owie one.
Yeah, somebody wants to know, what's your favorite color?
Red and blue.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
You make a cute little Superman.
I'm just going to put it on for a while.
Yeah.
What do you want for Christmas? What do you want Santa to bring you?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man what? There's lots of Spider-Man stuff.
It's just water. Do you want like a Spider-Man toy? Do you want a doll? What Spider-Man what?
I have it in my eye. In my suit.
He wants what? In his suit?
Yeah, I think he just wants a new suit.
And I want all the Spider-Man.
Does he like the figurines and all that? Does he have all the figurines, I'm sure? And
if he doesn't have them all, it's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I bet Santa brings you something good, Kendrick.
Spider-Man?
I bet. I mean, you're a good boy. Santa always brings...
But Mom and Josh don't let me be good.
Yeah. Well, I think you're good. What is your problem, Gypsy? This dog, she's like my kid.
Oh, I love that dog. That's so cute. We got a new dog today.
Well,
You
didn't get it today.
did?
We do have a new
What'd you
dog
name
today.
it?
Yeah, because Tiana died. She got ran over.
Oh, that's sad. And you got another
So
one?
we got a new one.
What did you name it?
What's the new dog's name? Do you remember?
Maybe Bubba.
Bubba? Bubba?
Bubba.
Oh.
Bubba.
All the sounds are there. A little out of order.
Do you work all the time?
I do all the time.
You don't.
She's working right now. She's gonna help us find your daddy.
My dad?
Yeah, she's trying to help us find your dad.
My dad?
Yeah. Casey, thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, Kendrick. I'm going to start crying.
And the movie says I'm Peter Parker.
You are Peter Parker.
This dog.
Is that, yeah. What kind of dog is that?
It's the bigger one,
I'm not 100% sure.
and we love it.
You do love it.
Well, yes.
Yeah, and it likes everybody.
Hold that. Let me see its face. Oh, look at it. Is it a boy or a girl? Boy?
A girl.
A girl?
So
That's cute. Oh, look at that, Gypsy.
you should get a new dog.
I
Like
don't want no more dogs. I got two
you got
outside
one
and this
dog?
one. Huh?
You got one dog at your work?
No, I'm at home. I got 3 dogs.
This is
2
just one of her
outside
dogs.
and
You
this one.
don't work today?
She does. This is just one of her jobs. She has lots of jobs.
Yeah.
You don't work today?
She
Nope,
did.
not
She
now.
did.
Not right now. I'm talking to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to see Gabby?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you want to be
What is
shown?
your problem?
She's being camera shy.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
shy.
yeah. This one, I don't know what her deal is. She's mad at me because I locked her out for a while. I told Jim, take care of her because she'll claw at the door wanting in and bark, and she's mad. Yeah. He's a doll, isn't he?
Oh my gosh.
I got blue and red on me.
You do.
Yeah.
Is there
We
any
are
other
already
questions?
black.
What's that?
We are already black right there.
My hair looks pretty black, doesn't it?
Oh, look at mine.
And mine.
Yeah. My lighting's
Stop.
not good.
Huh.
You wanna
Do you
Yeah, I
love
got the same color hair as you, Kendrick.
Everyone loves it. See, they says he's so cute. He's just darling.
Yes, he is.
What a doll baby. They
That
love you too.
dimple.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, you are. You're so cute.
I got so
Kendrick.
many owies on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can get on them.
Yes, he is, Mark.
And look at this. There's a knife in his suit.
Ty's phone was sort of like one of those pay as you go.
Yeah.
So it was like every
And
month.
you pretend to get it out.
Mhm.
So it was a prepaid, kind of? Yeah.
Yep.
Whew.
Ah.
You want to see my climbing? I'm going to pretend I'm climbing. Whoa! Whoa!
He keeps you
And I got some
young.
webs.
You want to go back in the front room so I can finish talking about your dad? You want to tell him bye?
I will see you soon, Kendrick, okay?
Okay.
You have a good night. Thank you. Oh my gosh, what a doll. He's pretty precious. At least you have something of ties that,
Mm-hmm.
you'll always have.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you reading questions? Because I'm not doing very good at it.
Yeah, I think I've gotten them all. I'm not-
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for Aisha? I do want to find out about the laws in Missouri. Carrie's going to help me with that, she said, and I'll let you know. And stop. Let me know if that Kit True Crime, I think, if they reach out to you. I sent you the link too. I'm
Okay.
going to go back and watch some of the videos. I subscribed. So, is there anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
I'm going to put your, you said Cash App, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is her Cash App, and it looks like $I Husted. Or you can scan the code. can they just hold their phone up to it and it scans like that?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know anything about them codes. So if anybody wants to donate anything, it'll go straight to her for more t-shirts or whatever. And don't forget to send me t-shirts, and I will put them on my Facebook and my community post for YouTube. If anybody else, I know Mark wants one. I'm sure Lori will. So let's see. Iowa girl wants to know, are you still there, or did she have to?
Yeah,
Oh.
I was just trying to get them to be quiet.
No, don't, they're kids. Wants to know if the community of Centerville has been supportive.
It's been very mixed. Like I said, Centerville's kind of already burned from the guy who previously disappeared and then was found. So I understand why they wouldn't be, but it's been very mixed. I think people now that it's been 5 years, are more receptive than they were when he initially went. And I've already said, like, he wasn't always on the right path, and he had outlaw on his arm. And so a lot of people, when he first went missing, was like, oh, he's just a thug. But like, we're from Centerville. It's not. He's not
No.
like a gangster. He's not a thug.
No.
If you were from Centerville, you would know it's nothing like that. It's not.
No.
It's not a hard town. It's a country town. He hunted. I'm not saying gangsters can't hunt, but that's not my. He was just a young, dumb kid who didn't realize
He was
tattoos
young.
are bad,
He was,
I guess. Yeah.
yeah, he was young. That's it.
He wasn't an outlaw. And that's just kind of what I want to touch up on is, like, even if he wasn't still on the right path, he's still somebody's baby. He's still my brother. He deserves to be found. Everybody deserves to be found regardless of how they lived their life. Nobody deserves to be missing. But I can tell you, he didn't run off, and he was trying.
Yeah.
He was trying.
He was trying for that young man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that is the truth, you know. He was 19 years old, just so young, and he was going to have a baby, and he was excited.
Mm-hmm.
He was excited.
Yeah.
So, yep, he deserves to be found. Iowa girl wants to know how your mom's doing.
I think she's doing as good as she can. I think it's easier having distractions with her grandkids and with Kendrick. But I mean, it's like everybody. She has her bad days. On his birthday and the anniversary of his missing day, they're definitely hard. She usually takes those days off. So she's doing as good as she can. I mean, he was her baby. And yeah.
Please tell her that we're all thinking about her and praying for her. And
yeah. And she's a strong woman. Like, she's a single mom. Growing up, she's married now, but growing up, she was always a single mom, and she deserves the world. And I can tell you that.
Well, I can tell you that you're very strong too. You are a strong. You had 3 kids at the time of Ty. You were young, trying to raise your kids, look for your brother. You are strong, very strong. I'm not sure I could be that strong. So,
I mean, it definitely changed me. Like, before this, I could have never done anything like this. I couldn't have talked on camera. I was a quiet kid. I could never done this. So, if one thing came out of it, he definitely allowed me to find my voice, and so it wasn't always
we all deserve to have a voice, and so.
Right. You never, like Carrie said, you never know how strong you are until you have to be. And the thing about it is, my brother Malcolm, he's not in a good place. Like I said, him and Ty had the same friend groups, so I'll let you draw those conclusions. So I knew I couldn't depend on him. My mom had just lost her baby, had no idea, so she wasn't her anxiety was too hard to do interviews. My grandma has COPD. She couldn't do interviews, so it had to be me. And so now I just never shut up about it.
Well, that's good. That's good. And we're going to keep talking about them. And I'm going to get more people to have you come on their panel, and we're going to spread Thai awareness too, just like we are Harry. And you're going to get your own channel. I'm going to stay on you for that. You will be so good at it. You will.
Yeah.
Oh, my Gypsy. Anyways, well, I know you've got kids to take care of, and hold on a second. I've got my chat on top filter instead of all. I want to look and see. Have they done anything with the DNA? Mark wants to know.
So DNA, to be honest, I'm not sure, because we reached out to NamUs, and I think it's important to know that whenever your loved one goes missing, there's no playbook. There are some articles you read that's like, this is what you should do. So for a while, I had no idea what to do. It was just me against the world, it felt like. There's no play-by-play, like, report a missing, then here's all the steps. So I didn't find out about NamUs until way after Ty went missing. And somebody was like, why isn't he on NamUs? And I was like, I have no idea what that is. So we reached out to NamUs, and they sent the kit to Mercer, but Mercer never told my family that the kit had come in. So then they sent another one to Centerville, but Centerville claims they never got it. So as far as DNA, I'm not 100% sure if we got that figured out or not, because I'm only his half-sister, so they didn't want my DNA. They wanted my mom's DNA. And because Ty only has half-siblings, they wanted my mom's DNA. So to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if they worked out the DNA thing. I know that at the last I knew, they were still trying to figure out where these missing kids are.
Wow. Mark, was that the only question you had? Or sorry, I had it in. I always forget top chat and all chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was. Hey Alexis, how are you, girl? I say it's so amazing for Mark to help you. Yeah. Yep. Mark is amazing. And like I said, he knows firsthand what Aisha is going through. Yeah. This dog she's human. I'm telling you. I usually take her to work with me. I take her everywhere. That's what I said. Go ahead.
The Centerville Police Department does have Ty's fingerprints. Somebody asked. So he does have fingerprints on file. Hi, I'm just still talking.
Oh my.
Hey, Aisha, Mark said that he is going to personally call the Centerville police chief and find out. He knows him very well. So, because Mark was excellent, retired law enforcement. So you do that, Mark, and see if you can find out anything for. Mark says we have to get together soon and make you a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to, maybe you could come with us sometime when we get together. Some of us get together and we eat, or.
Yeah, for sure.
We eat, and we just talk about.
Like I said, I have no friends, so I'm always down to make friends.
Well, guess what? You've got a new friend right here in me. I promise you that. I want to take a drive down to Lineville. And
yeah, I haven't been there. Honestly, I haven't been there in a while. So
yeah. I'm definitely, and I would love for you to come if you want.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be compared to Han. Does all you?
Oh, yeah, the John Doe's. I think they meant John Doe's.
John Doe's. I don't have my glasses on. I need to wear my glasses, but every time I wear them, I feel, I don't know. You're pretty awesome too, Carrie. It's all about the timeline starting a couple weeks before, Mark said.
Mhm.
So if you can get that, well,
The John Doe's is kind of hard because, like we mentioned, we're from a small community, and Lineville's not much bigger, if at all bigger. So there's not many John Doe's around here. So in order for Ty to be a John Doe, he would have to be further. Like he would have had to be taken further, which I think. How far is
there's the John Does. There's so many John Does that have not been identified.
I'm just saying for like around here, John Does are very rare.
No, we don't have any. I think, well, there's one.
Well, there was, Mercer County did reach out recently about a John Doe, but it didn't end up being Ty. So that's why I'm thinking DNA has been figured out. But yeah, it didn't end up being him. And the John Doe wasn't even around here. It was just they were reaching out further because everywhere from where that John Doe is found, he didn't match anybody. So they were reaching out further, and Ty's name had just happened to be brought up. So.
And when you talked about the clothes, where they found the clothes, I don't think if I asked, was it the hog?
No, so it was the clothes that I had washed.
His clothes
that he had picked up from my house, which was kind of we're gonna kind of backpedal to.
Nope, that's okay.
Right after, but it was really kind of scary because if you think about it, they came to my house to pick up the clothes, which means his coworker knows where I live or knew where I lived at the time. And so that was really scary for me. And I'm going to be transparent again. Like there were times where I was just afraid to go outside because nobody directly threatened me like, oh, you're being followed, but people would be like, I'm scared you are being followed and you need to be careful. And again, single mom of 3 kids, like there was times where I like didn't even want to send them to school. I picked them up, I dropped them off. I was always like beelining it straight to the school to get them, like hold hands. And again, there was no evidence that I was being followed, but when people are like, I'm scared for you, because you got to remember I was out every night talking to shady people. You never know. And if this person might have done something to my brother, who's going to stop him from doing something to the crazy sister who won't keep her mouth shut? So it was a scary time for me. And luckily we don't live there anymore. So I'm not so much worried about that. But there was a long time that I was terrified because I knew that he was probably with Ty when he picked up the clothes, which means he knew where our family lived. So
Ty never got out of his hog barn clothes.
No. And so the picture that he sent Malcolm in the messenger is what we're assuming was the last thing he was wearing. So like a red shirt. Oh yeah, don't worry, Iowa girl. Like since Ty went missing, I'm definitely now more cautious and aware of my surroundings for sure.
Yeah. In this world, everybody needs to be, honestly. Yeah, I'm glad she moved too, Carrie. So, Gypsy, she's got her butt on the camera. Come here. Come here. You want to go outside? Well, I think I'm going to get off of here. We're going to do this again real soon. And
for sure.
We'll go I drink coffee all day long or Pepsi. We're going to go get some coffee, and you've got a new friend. And all of us, Mark and Lori and everybody in the chat, we're definitely supporting you. Okay.
That's true. I have my permit to carry, so no worries, girl.
Yeah, you better.
Taken care of.
If not, I'd be taking you to get that.
As far as lie detector test, I'm not sure if he took a lie detector test. His interview hasn't been released, so the changing of the 3 stories, the police officer that interviewed him said he changed his stories, but the 3 versions of the stories that I know came from what he had told other people, so I'm assuming those are the same stories or even more stories that he had told a cop. So I'm not sure if a lie detector was taken, but also we have to remember all true crime people know they're not admissible in court, and they're not very reliable anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much just to show if
right, just to get them in.
I know that Mark, we would love for the last people that was with Harry to take one,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not admissible, but it's just,
Right.
yeah.
And the thing is the people who are taking them, they have to believe that. If as long as they believe it's the truth, then it's a good chance that it'll come up that they, it'll show that they're telling the truth. And with the whole like drug scene, we don't know how that would affect his heart rate, if it'd even be.
Yeah, because if he was like way out there, something going on with him when they,
Mm-hmm.
that's scary. That, I
Mhm.
mean, how would he even remember anything if,
Right.
yeah. Well, hopefully you get some answers on that. And we didn't mention his name, but I mean, people can look it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's right now, Aisha and me talked, and we're just leaving his name out for now, but anybody can look it up and go check him out.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
all
not
right.
hard to find. There's subreddits and it's out there.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just for legal reasons, we'd rather not say his name.
Yeah. And that's smart. That's smart of you for now,
Mm-hmm.
until you find out really what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do find out, we're going to do an update either on this channel or her channel. Oh, and Aisha said that whenever I do another video, whether that be with Mark or we come up with somebody, there's lots of missing people. Aisha said she would love to come up on my panel, and this will get you used to doing yours. So
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get rid of her. We're going to keep her. And so
You're
I would
stuck with
love
me.
to.
Even if Ty gets found, I'm still going to advocate because, like I said, I definitely now have a calling for especially missing men. So
Yep.
even if Ty gets found and this gets resolved, I'm sure you're still going to see my face.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have a calling. I said that last night. It's your voice and being personally involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right there. So I know Mark, that's his calling too. And
Mm-hmm.
all right. Oh, I stepped away from true crime, but I'm happy to help however I can. You can get my phone number from Allison. So the Eclipse Truth said that. Thank you very much. Even if it's just to talk. Well, this dog, I think, is needing to go outside, so I better get off of here. Thank you so much.
No, thanks for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. It makes me feel good. It makes my heart happy. And thank you guys for being in the chat.
Right, we're saying bye. Do you want to say bye one last time?
Bye, Kendra.
Do you want to say thanks for helping?
Thanks for helping.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for telling us hi. Anyways, I know I'm so bad about the chat, watching the chat. And I'm trying to do better. So, well, you have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.